My 33 female boyfriend, John, 41, and I have been dating for almost a year now, and things were great. He's romantic, loving, helps with chores, I know, right? And he's funny as well. However, no person is without their faults. He's a bit uptight about his feelings and expressing his emotions sometimes, and he's struggled a lot with his mental health in the past, but he's doing well now. I also know that he had an incredibly strained relationship with his father, and that it must have been abusive to some degree, but I don't know any details. His dad died years before I met him, but I can count the number of times John has talked about his dad on one hand. He's that tight-lipped about those sorts of things. Well, anyway, last week I found out that I'm pregnant, and I went to tell John. I thought he'd be happy because he has a little niece and a baby nephew that he's great with, and as I said before, he's a loving and caring partner. But I was entirely wrong. John flipped out on me completely. He told me to put the baby up for adoption, accused me of cheating, called me names, etc. It wasn't good. He said that he'd never wanted to see me again, and he kicked me out of his house. I'm kind of in shock, and I've honestly been crying and eating ice cream for the past few days trying to decide what to do. I haven't spoken to John at all. He hasn't answered any of my calls, so honestly, I accepted that he meant what he said. But 2 days ago, his sister, 37, reached out to me. I'm not super close to her, not because she's mean or anything, it's just that John is a little introverted, so I haven't spent much time with his family. So anyway, Emily basically told me that John didn't mean anything that he said, and that he was upset about his reaction. This made me really angry. I told her if he was that upset, he needed to apologize to me himself. And honestly, I wasn't even sure if I could accept his apology because the way he acted made me rethink whether or not he's father material. Emily kept her cool, and she explained a few things to me. First, she clarified about his dad. She said he was incredibly violent and toxic, and she's sure that John is just scared. Emily didn't tell me any details, said that it was up to John, and while I'm heartbroken to know that the person I love so much was hurt so badly, I'm still not sure what to do or how to move forward. Emily also said that John's mom knows about what happened, so his entire family is mad about the situation, apparently madder at John than me. I don't want to put John in an uncomfortable position or force him to be a parent when he doesn't want to, but I really don't want to lose him. I want to keep the baby though, even if that makes me selfish to do so. My husband, 30, and I, 32 female, have 3 wonderful children. Also, I'm currently pregnant with our 4th kiddo. I've always had a somewhat tense relationship with my in-laws. They showed me in our early stages of dating that they didn't really care about me as a person, and even now, I feel like all they're looking for when talking to me is gossip about their friends. I try getting along with them as well as possible, especially since I want my kids to have a good relationship with them. Last weekend, my kids spent a couple of hours at my in-laws' house while my husband and I went baby shopping. We called to let them know we'd be there in about 20 minutes on our way back. They told us they went to the mall because the boys wanted to look at toys and they'd leave now. I heard my daughter crying in the background, which I didn't think much of since she was only 17 months old. I still asked, and my mother-in-law said she wanted ice cream, but they said no. All right, fair enough. When we got to their house, we just waited a bit since they were on their way. A couple of minutes pass and they arrive, happy to see us, the kids that is, LOL. Our daughter's eyes are still red from crying, so I pick her up for snuggles and ask what's wrong. Then I see it. My in-laws got her ears pierced. They knew we didn't want it to be done yet since they told us multiple times to take the chance while she's young and won't remember the pain. And every single time we said, no, we want it to be her choice once she's old enough, I got furious and yelled at my in-laws. They didn't apologize or anything like that. My husband tried to diffuse the situation, and eventually he convinced me it was better to drive home and cool off. So the day after that, I called and said I was sorry about yelling at them, but what they did was unacceptable. They still didn't see anything wrong with it and called me hormonal and irrational. That took the cake for me. I was furious and told them I didn't want them near my children again if neither my husband nor I were present. Then I hung up. They think they're in the right and I'm overreacting, and that once baby number 4 is here, I'll come to my senses. My husband thinks my reaction was a little harsh, but agrees it was unacceptable. I get that he wants our children to have a normal relationship with his parents, but I feel like I lost all trust in them. My best friend says I shouldn't have made a decision in the heat of the moment and that I should apologize and try to find a compromise. Another friend understands me and says he would have done the same. I feel like everybody has a different opinion on how I should have handled the situation, so am I the idiot? My mother and husband hate each other. That's the most basic way to put it. The truth is that my husband feels that he's treated as less than my other siblings' spouses because of his skin color, and my mother feels that he's way too dumb for my standards. However, I feel that my mother doesn't show any favoritism or harsh treatment of my husband. Because of this, my husband cannot stand my mother and recently refused to even be in the same room as her. Oh, your mum's going to be at Christmas? I'm going to a friend's house. Oh, your mum's going to the kids' event? I'll just stay at home. Frankly, it's insanely demoralizing for me, and I hate my husband when he backs out of something just because my mom will be there. And it's worse when he demands that my mom not go because he wants to be there. In my opinion, he's the one with the big issue. He should be the one to leave the kids' events. Recently, one of my kids was having a big football match and he wanted his father there, but unfortunately my mother also wanted to be there, so I tried telling my son that he couldn't have his father there. He was adamant, so I told my husband that my mother was not going to be there. He arrives, and obviously so does my mother, and they're immediately bickering. He comments on how awful my mother is, and then she fires back, saying that she was never insulting him. I told them to shut up and sent my husband to sit somewhere else for a while. Since the game ended late, I decided that I'd bring my mum back to my home and make her some dinner. My husband threw a hissy fit over this and was screaming about me always choosing my mother over him, and I was like, of course I'm going to put my mom over my husband. She's the woman who single-handedly raised 3 other kids and me. She's literally a goddess for not giving some of us up for adoption. My husband stormed out and I was left wondering if I'd done something wrong. Am I the idiot? I'm a young teen female. I was born in a very poor country. My mom didn't have great parental care, so she didn't know she was having twins until my brother and I were born. She just wanted a boy. Unfortunately, my brother died when he was only a few hours old. My mom got depressed after that. Because of my brother's death, we never celebrated my birthday because it was supposed to be a day of family mourning. Although my family will have small celebrations for me on other days, usually just going out for ice cream or other small things, my mom never joined in or anything, no matter when we had them. We live in the United States now, and birthdays are a way bigger deal here than they were back in my old country. We moved here when I was 7, and ever since then I've always wanted a birthday party with balloons and cake and streamers and everything like that. But my mom has always said no because she says I'm being disrespectful to my brother. Where I live, all of my friends were having small parties to celebrate turning into teenagers, and I felt left out that I wasn't going to get a party, so I tried to ask my parents again and they said no. My mom said no, and I was disrespectful for even asking, and my dad told me to listen to my mom. I know that it's not right to be dishonest, but I just really wanted to experience that feeling of having a whole party just for you. So I saved up all of my money from my weekend job and bought a cake, decorations, and invitations. My friend's family owns a restaurant, and they agreed to let me use the back room. On my birthday, I spent the morning grieving with my parents and then told them I had to go to a friend's house for a school project. So I had my birthday party, and it was the most fantastic time I've ever had in my life. 20 of my friends came and they all got me gifts and sang to me. There was music and dancing, and it was amazing. My parents found out though because one of my friend's parents mentioned to my mom when she saw her at the supermarket the next day what a great time my friend had during my party. My mom came home and freaked out. She called me disrespectful, disgraceful, and said that she wished my brother had made it instead of me. So I'm not allowed to hang out with my friends or go on any electronics except for schoolwork. I can use the family computer in the living room so she can see what I'm doing. I'm writing this on a computer in the school's library. I don't think my mom would be as mad if I had the party another day and not on my actual birthday, and that's the only thing I feel bad about. I could have had it the day after my birthday instead of the day of and spent the day with my family. I hate spending every single birthday sitting in the dark and not talking or eating while we mourn my brother. I just wanted 1 year to celebrate. Am I the idiot? My grandma is super against tattoos. She says they don't look good on women. My 2 brothers have tattoos though, and that's fine with her. When she found out my oldest sister, there's 4 of us, had a tattoo, we still don't know who squealed, she took my sister out of her will. My other sisters and I made plans for the 3 of us to get tattoos in solidarity with our sister. I said I would do it, but then I realized how dumb that was and decided not to do it. They went through with it though, and they were mad at me when they found out I didn't do it. My grandma took them off her will, and when she died, my 2 brothers and I inherited all her money and estates. My brothers and I gave our sisters a little bit of it, but they wanted us to split it equally. My sisters have been pressuring me, especially because I said I was going to do that tattoo plan with them and then didn't do it. Am I the idiot for not getting the tattoo with them? Also, am I the idiot for not splitting the inheritance equally with them? I already gave them some, but they want more.
Hi guys, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Please like and subscribe to see more great videos. See you again.